Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Saturday, March 26th, 12:39 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. As always, Bitcoin Daily View got more for you there. All right, thought I'd mention up front space weather coming in. So geomagnetic storm, watch G1 class flare. It's a CME is heading for Earth, minor G1 class, not big. Storms are possible when the storm cloud arrives on March 28th. So this will be here around the 28th, maybe the 27th. Sometimes they arrive, so they arrive a little bit sooner. Uh, anyway, this is something to watch. You can kind of see the CME here burst off the back of the planet, off the back of the sun right there. If you can see that, it's kind of cool. Not really a big one. And what's interesting here is if you watch, you can see the sun here in the middle, and you can see the CME come off. And it's funny because it's going to hit this. This is the Earth right here, and then this is the Mercury right here. So it's going to actually hit the Earth and Mercury at the same time. And it's funny. It's not a big flare, and this is actually conjecture. This is showing a magnetic flow as we orbit the sun and such like that. These are actually magnetic waves that naturally flow. So the thing is, even if a CME is away from the Earth, it still follows these magnetic lines basically, and we do feel it, and you ultimately feel it instantly on a sensitive level. You feel it because that current actually does get here instantly, but when the actual blast of the CME gets here, that's a little bit delayed. Anyway, so just keep an eye out this weekend and Monday. This just looks a little bit hazardous to me. Not a big deal, but it's a pretty good blast. I watch these things all the time, and this is only conjecture how it's going to come out. It's a model of the way they think it's going to go. So we shall see. But a pretty good CME is heading our way. This was the 25th. This came out. Actually, this is the 25th. Yeah, 26th. So it should arrive. Might even be arriving now. Possibly tomorrow too. Anyway, I'll keep you guys up. I'll keep you guys up on what's going on. Don't worry, not the end of the world. Just interested in how everybody. I'll let you know when it hits, and let me know how everybody kind of felt when it got here, because it's quite the solar cycle 25 keeps rolling. We're going to see more and more of these, and so get used to being hit by CMEs, and be prepared for a little bit of grid down action and possible involuntary enlightenment. So with that said, 1.6 billion in volume today for Bitcoin. That's really low. So it's been a good week towards the end, and right now Bitcoin's still holding strong, creating a great launch pad for alts. But do realize that this volume is purely crap. So we have very low volume right now. Looking at our cryptometer.io, where it's at 2 billion, so slightly more than crypto Bitcoin trading volume, which is my favorite, bitcointradevolume.com. They're about the most accurate. So 1.6, somewhere between 1.6 and 2 billion is what we're looking at. We're down 60% last 24 hours in volume for Bitcoin explicitly. Market buy orders are down 63%, and market sell orders have dropped by 57%. So pretty much people are just not trading. It's not really negative or positive, and that is reflected in the chart. So the volume is just trailing off as we hit this weekend. Let's look here first. I'm looking at spot trading. As you can see on all the big exchanges, you can see it's definitely dropping. Spot trading volume is dropping. It's the red. So definitely massively people are not trading this weekend. Derivatives for basically futures on Binance, 29 billion. You want to see at least 50 billion for the market to even be happening. So it doesn't appear to be negatively affecting Bitcoin. But overall, the volume is trailing off pretty darn massively, and it's only Saturday. So when that happens, that creates manipulative opportunities for the bulls, and in the situation, they're usually going to dump it. So be ready for those wicks. If you got any sort of dream buys you'd like to put them in. Maybe you'll hit that limit order. Right, looking at Bitcoin, we're coming in at 44,331. That is really fantastic. But looking at the top 100 cryptos, because of the recent volatility, basically some are green and some are not. ApeCoin is still going ape. Who else do I know of? No other coins that I really know. Waves is doing well. It's up 6%. Solana's up 5%. I like it. Cardano's up 3.4. And so we're looking pretty good. This is good enough. We really just need to get through this low volume weekend and see how Monday shapes up. And if we can stay sideways, especially above the 200 moving average for Bitcoin, we're going to have an incredible week, I believe, heading ahead. Heading ahead. So Binance 44% long, 55% short for Bitcoin on Binance. Definitely a short bias. So I think most of the big money guys who know what they're doing, who are trading with leverage, are figuring we're probably going to see at least a bit of a retrace for Bitcoin, but not to worry. It's going to be slight, I think, as long as it doesn't absolutely go potty. And in general, the charts are looking very strong. We'll take a look at that. So I think definitely, get your dream wick buys in. They could happen. Sometimes dreams come true. They do, actually. So Ethereum, 52% long, 47% short. So a slightly longer bias on Ethereum. Okay, cool. Good to go. None of these other charts really matter because it's weekend. Now let's look at the daily first. As you can see, looking at this Fibonacci sequence that I started back on the 20th of July, we rode up, looked good, given a lot back. We've been bouncing off the 786 Fib line for quite a while, and now we're back in the 618 golden pocket. We've burst above it. We've challenged that 314. Now we're kind of hanging back in the 618 pocket. It is really awesome to be holding that during this low volume Saturday. MACD for the daily is still powerfully positive and moving in that direction. I love seeing that. And also same Fibonacci sequence right here, looking at the same time frame. What I wanted to note here is that here on the weekly, we still are way above the 200 moving average. How about on the daily? Daily is not. Now, daily still needs to challenge that 314, get above it, and hit that 200 moving average. But really, crossing that 200 moving average would only take a 0.5 fib level cross, and that's 49,200. Easy peasy. Easy day. So, as we see here, of course, on the weekly, we're back in the 618 golden pocket. I love that. And this is a big one here. Set your alerts for this because we have a powerful positive tangent on the weekly MACD. And this is definitely going to drive a lot of buy confidence. And as this gets close to a cross on the weekly, once that cross happens on the weekly, when you already have a positive cross on the daily, and we'll probably actually pass the 200 moving average on the daily before we hit that weekly MACD cross towards the positive, we are really into an explosive move here. We'll keep an eye on it. These things can turn around, but right now we are looking at a powerful Bitcoin. I like what I'm seeing. Looking at the 45-minute chart, we've been keeping above the 200 moving average, even though we have had a couple little scrapes along it. We got back above it. We are in that 618 golden pocket. This is the same that we're seeing here on the daily and the weekly. We are back in that 618 golden pocket. I like what I'm seeing. We're really riding the top of it. We've gotten above it a little bit. We're not pushing the top of the RSI cave too much. Indicators are kind of flaccid, but not too bad. Basically, they're what I would expect after recent volatility like this. That's some volatility. That's going to screw you up. And with that said, let's just hang in there and see what happens. An important thing to note when it comes to alt trading is this. Ultimately, I'm not going to count this part right here because we didn't really break below it. But if we look at our 200 moving average break, how long have we been above the 200 moving average? Even with a slight kind of, land and take off move, boom, a fake landing. 10 days, that's friggin' massive. So the longer we stay above, the more powerful it gets. So really, we are setting up for a powerful alt explosion come next week if Bitcoin can stay positive, can stay in the sideways within this golden pocket. I think we're really good. Above the 45-minute 200 moving average, that's really friggin' wonderful. So then I just take a look at SHIB versus USD because it represents what a lot of alts are doing. We had a powerful run up the beginning of February. You had some all-time highs, had some highs for many alts, gave a lot back. Anyway, Shiba Inu versus USD is really a good example of that. It's working. It's right now in the 4-hour chart. Just to pull in a lot of data and get a big picture, it's above the 200 moving average. It made a recent cross there. It's above at 786, and it's going to start challenging that 314 and getting its own 618 golden pocket. As you can see, it did actually in a blast of glory did get above it a while back. That would have been around the 19th of March, but it was too quick. It just basically was sometimes the harder you go, the shorter your hang time is. Guys, you might know what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, that's the case. So Bitcoin just basically it was too aggressive. It wasn't really, it was too aggressive. It just, that's how it goes. It was excited, it was a hot date night, and it just could not basically keep it up, and that's to be expected. So anyway, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't do that. Bitcoin's more mature, more of a warrior male. Anyway, but Shib, being a young guy, just couldn't quite got too excited. Anyway, now it's a couple weeks later. The relationship is evolving, and I think we're going to see some nice, slow love making between Shiba Inu and massive gains. So Shib, it's growing up. I know how it is to be a young guy, Shib. It's all right. Anyway, let's forget about DigiByte. It's way too hard to chart right now. Anyway, I want to keep these quick, and I'm not really going to mention any news that's not really relevant. There's plenty of YouTube, news stations and such like that. So unless it's really, really powerful, I'm not going to bother with it. Other than I do think I don't have a story up for it, but really importantly, I think is it China and who Russia and another country, either China or is it India? I forget. Talking about trading oil, buying oil. Basically, I think they've been flirting with the idea of using Bitcoin, or even if it's just a rumor. Anyway, that could be a quite big Lambo action. That's a story I'm going to keep watching, and we're going to watch that kind of close because that definitely could be cool, bullish for Bitcoin, but also that can get really, Bitcoin prohibitionists, those who don't want crypto, those who want, the petrodollar to stay dominant, to really want to crack down with cycle regulations on Bitcoin. So we'll keep an eye on that because that story is big. Right now, though, as we roll into this weekend, we have a very, very powerful positive MACD chart on daily and the weekly for Bitcoin. 45 minutes looking great. We just got to stay basically sideways, just keep that hang time going all weekend. And then Monday, well, the relationship will evolve into something even more magical. So so take care. I'll see everybody tomorrow. I think we're going to have a really explosive weekend, unless the sun melts the earth. Well, take care, everybody. And then if it happens all at once and really fast, who will be there to care? And we'll all meet on the new earth. So take care.